In the world you're graduating into, interdependence is no longer just an idea. It's the reality we face every day. It's not just about your community, your state, or even your nation. It's the entire world. You're connected in ways that were once unimaginable, and whether you like it or not, you're bound to others in more profound ways than ever before. This campus has seen the power of global imagination. When you say, "Let's light the world on fire," it isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a call to action. But before you go out into the world, it's important to understand what it truly means to light the world on fire. It's not just about grand ambitions or spectacular ideas. It's about taking responsibility for the impact you have, both locally and globally. The truth is, we can't escape each other. We often try to create barriers between ourselves, be it through divorce, borders, or walls. But the reality remains we're all in this together. The actions of others, how they treat you, and how you treat them will shape the course of your life. And as technology continues to evolve, it's more important than ever to recognize the positive and negative forces unleashed by the interconnected world we now live in. As we stand at the threshold of a new era, we must confront the dual forces that the interconnected world has brought. The rise of the global economy, the internet, and mobile technology have created unprecedented opportunities for empowerment. These forces have enabled us to break down some barriers, giving individuals around the world the tools to improve their lives. But with great power comes great responsibility, and these very advancements have also exposed the deep-rooted inequalities and social issues that persist globally. We've seen how quickly societies can transform. We've seen people rise up, demanding their voices be heard, whether it's the young people fighting for immigration reform, the activists pushing for racial justice, or communities struggling against economic hardships. All of these struggles are interconnected. In this age of interdependence, it's not just about helping ourselves, it's about lifting each other up. However, in this globalized world, it's easy to retreat into ourselves, to forget about the struggles of others. But to truly light the world on fire, we need to look beyond our personal ambitions and work together to create a positive future for all. If we ignore the challenges faced by others, we risk deepening the divides that separate us and undermining the very foundation of our shared existence. The challenges are everywhere, from the streets of America to the mountains of Africa, from the conflict zones of Asia to the political unrest in Europe. People are struggling. Yet, we must remember that each of these struggles is an expression of our shared humanity. Whether it's the fight for social justice, the battle against climate change, or the push for economic equality, these are all struggles we face together. When we look at the state of the world today, it can be overwhelming. The complexity of the issues and the divide between the haves and the have-nots can leave us feeling helpless. But here's the thing, you, the next generation, are in a unique position. You are empowered in ways previous generations couldn't have imagined. You have the tools and the opportunity to make a real difference. But to do so, you need to choose how you engage with the world. Do you see the differences that separate us? Or do you recognize the shared values that bind us together? The way you answer that question will shape not only your future, but the future of those around you. You have the power to influence the world in ways both small and large. The question is, will you use that power to build bridges or to deepen the divides? One of the most significant lessons we can learn from history is that change is not easy. But the most profound changes often come from unexpected places. Take, for example, the rise of movements like Black Lives Matter or the global push for climate action. These movements have not only sparked conversations, but also changed laws, policies, and the way we think about our collective future. Yet, these movements also reveal something essential about our world today. There is a significant divide between those who feel empowered by these changes and those who feel left behind. There are people who feel threatened by the progress of others, and this sense of threat often leads to further division. The coal miners in struggling communities feel this way. They believe that the push for climate action disregards their livelihoods. They feel like the rest of the world is moving forward while they're being left behind. This divide isn't just about ideology. It's about identity, about feeling seen, heard, and valued. When people feel that their struggles are ignored, they pull away. They build walls, both metaphorically and physically, to protect themselves. And when we all retreat to our corners, we lose the opportunity for true progress. In a world that is increasingly connected, it is essential to remember the power of empathy. Empathy doesn't just mean understanding someone's pain or struggle. It means actively working to alleviate it. It means acknowledging that someone else's experience is just as valid as your own, even if it's different from what you know. When Pope Francis talks about the culture of encounter, he's calling on us to do more than just acknowledge the struggles of others. He's urging us to meet people where they are, to truly see them, and to engage with their challenges in meaningful ways. It's not enough to pass by someone on the street or in a community and simply offer a superficial greeting. We must learn to see them as real people, people whose experiences matter just as much as our own. The culture of encounter is about breaking down the barriers that prevent us from truly understanding each other. It's about recognizing the humanity in others, even when their experiences and perspectives are different from ours. It's a reminder that we are all interconnected, and that the well-being of one person affects the well-being of everyone. Take a moment to think about the people you encounter every day. Whether it's a friend, a colleague, or even a stranger passing by on the street, do you really see them? Do you take the time to understand what they might be going through? Or do you simply pass by, absorbed in your own world? In a world where we're more connected than ever before, it's easy to overlook the people who are right in front of us. We're all guilty of it at times, myself included. But the truth is, when we stop seeing the people around us, we stop building the empathy and understanding that our world so desperately needs. And without empathy, we cannot hope to create the kind of positive change that will improve the lives of all people. This is where the real power of interdependence lies. It's not just about technological advancements or economic growth. It's about building meaningful connections with others. It's about recognizing that our collective success is tied to the success of every individual. And it's about making sure that no one is left behind in our pursuit of progress. As we think about the world's challenges, it's important to remember that there's no single solution to these problems. The issues we face today are complex and multifaceted, and solving them will require cooperation from all corners of society. Whether it's addressing inequality, tackling climate change, or ensuring that everyone has access to opportunity, there is no one-size-fits-all answer. But here's the good news. Each of you has a role to play in this effort. The power to make a difference doesn't rest solely with politicians or world leaders. It's in your hands. You have the ability to influence the world in ways that matter. Every time you engage with someone, every time you take action to address injustice, every time you advocate for those who have been silenced, you are making a difference. And that difference doesn't have to be monumental. It can be as simple as offering a helping hand to someone in need, or speaking out against an injustice when others are too afraid to do so. These small acts of kindness and courage may not change the world overnight, but they will set in motion a chain of events that leads to lasting change. Let's talk about the idea of setting the world on fire. At first glance, it may seem like a dramatic, even reckless notion. Who would want to set the world on fire? But what if we think about it differently? What if setting the world on fire isn't about destruction, but about lighting the world up with hope, creativity, and passion? When we set the world on fire with our imagination, we ignite the spark that leads to positive change. It's about using the power of our ideas, our passion, and our energy to make a difference. It's about inspiring others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that spreads across communities, countries, and continents. So, when you hear the phrase, light the world on fire, don't think of it as a call for chaos. Think of it as an invitation to bring your unique gifts to the world and use them to make a difference. It's not about burning everything down. It's about building something better, something brighter together. The truth is, we're all capable of making a difference, no matter how small it may seem. Every action you take, no matter how insignificant it might feel at the time, contributes to the larger movement toward positive change. Think about the countless individuals who have shaped the world throughout history, not by making grand gestures, but by doing the right thing when it mattered. Take the example of the global youth movements fighting for climate justice. These young people didn't wait for permission to act. They didn't wait for the world to be ready. They took to the streets. They used their voices. And they made sure their message was heard. Their actions have sparked a global conversation about the future of our planet. But it's not just about the big movements. It's also about the quiet acts of kindness that happen every day. It's about the teacher who stays after school to help a struggling student, the neighbor who checks in on an elderly resident, or the activist who spends years working on behalf of marginalized communities. These acts may not make headlines, but they are just as important in the larger effort to set the world on fire in a positive way. As we look forward to the future, we must remember that the world is not a static place. Change is happening all around us, and we have the power to shape it. But with that power comes responsibility. It's easy to get caught up in our own lives, our own struggles, but if we're truly committed to making a difference, we must broaden our perspective and think about the greater good. The future will not be shaped by those who turn away from the problems of the world, but by those who lean into them. The challenges we face today are daunting, but they are not insurmountable. If we work together, if we embrace our shared humanity and recognize the interdependence that binds us all, we can create a future that is brighter for everyone. The most pressing question we face is how to respond to the challenges of our interconnected world. It's easy to get caught up in our own individual struggles, but we must remember that we are not alone. The choices we make affect others, whether we realize it or not. If we are to create a better world, we must first recognize the collective responsibility we share. We must be willing to look beyond our own needs and think about how our actions affect the greater good. This requires a shift in mindset from focusing solely on personal success to prioritizing the success of the entire community. When we approach the world with this mindset, we create a ripple effect that reaches far beyond our immediate surroundings. And it starts with the smallest actions. Every time you choose kindness over indifference, understanding over judgment, you contribute to the positive change we need. These seemingly small actions build the foundation for the larger shifts that can transform our world. One of the greatest challenges we face today is the temptation to retreat into our own bubbles. It's easy to stay within our comfort zones, to surround ourselves only with people who share our views and experiences. But that's not the way forward. If we truly want to make a difference, we need to step outside our bubbles and engage with the world around us. This doesn't mean that we have to agree with everyone or abandon our beliefs. It simply means that we must be willing to listen, to understand, and to learn from those who are different from us. In doing so, we broaden our perspectives and create a space for empathy and understanding to thrive. When we choose to engage with others, even when it's uncomfortable, we make progress. We break down the barriers that separate us and begin to build the connections that can unite us. The world's challenges may seem insurmountable, but history has shown that great progress often begins with small, intentional actions. Think about the civil rights movement in the United States or the global push for gender equality. These movements didn't begin with sweeping legislation or massive protests. They started with individuals, people who were willing to stand up for what they believed in, even when the odds were stacked against them. Today, we have the opportunity to follow in their footsteps. We have the tools and resources to make a difference, whether it's through technology, social media, or community organizing. But the key is to start where we are and do what we can. Every small act of kindness, every conversation that promotes understanding, every initiative that brings people together, all of these things contribute to the larger movement for positive change. The idea of setting the world on fire isn't about creating destruction. It's about igniting a spark that can lead to lasting change. It's about lighting up the world with our passion, our ideas, and our commitment to building a better future. This is the true meaning of the phrase, to set the world on fire with the power of imagination and the desire to make a difference. When we talk about setting the world on fire, we're talking about igniting something within ourselves. A fire that drives us to act, to make a difference, and to inspire others to do the same. It's about creating a movement, not through violence or anger, but through the positive force of our collective actions. This fire doesn't have to be big or loud. It can be small, quiet, and steady. But as long as it burns brightly, it will continue to spread, lighting the way for others to follow. You are not defined by the challenges you face, but by how you respond to them. The world may seem full of obstacles, but those obstacles don't have to hold you back. In fact, it's often in the face of adversity that the most profound growth occurs. Throughout history, the most successful individuals and movements have emerged from moments of hardship. The challenges they faced didn't break them. They strengthened them. They learned, adapted, and found new ways to approach the world. This is the true power of resilience, the ability to overcome obstacles and emerge stronger on the other side. As you move forward, remember that setbacks are not failures. They are opportunities for growth. Every time you face a challenge, you are being given a chance to build strength, resilience, and wisdom. The key is to keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the path may seem. In a world where negativity often dominates the headlines, it can be easy to fall into despair. We hear about the problems, the conflicts, and the struggles, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed by the weight of it all. But we must remember that for every negative story, there are countless positive stories happening all around us. These stories may not make the headlines, but they are just as important. The teacher who stays late to help a student, the volunteer who spends hours in a shelter, the community coming together to support a neighbor in need. These are the stories that shape the world in powerful ways. While the problems we face are real, so too is the potential for positive change. It's up to us to seek out the good, to amplify the voices of those who are working to make a difference, and to be a part of that change ourselves. As we move forward into this new chapter, it's essential to remember that the future is not something that happens to us. It's something we create. Every day, we have the opportunity to shape the world around us through our actions, our choices, and our words. This is both a privilege and a responsibility. We often think of the future as something distant, something that will unfold no matter what we do. But the truth is, the future is being built right now, in this very moment. Every decision you make, every interaction you have, every initiative you take, all of these things are contributing to the world of tomorrow. So, as you embark on this next phase of your journey, remember that you hold the power to shape the future. The world is waiting for you to step up, to take action, and to lead with purpose. But to shape the future, we must first understand it. The world is constantly evolving, and the problems we face today are not the same as the problems of the past. To make a difference, we must be willing to learn, to adapt, and to rethink the way we approach these challenges. This requires open-mindedness and a willingness to question the status quo. It means challenging assumptions, pushing boundaries, and embracing new ideas. It's not always easy, but it's essential if we want to create a world that is more inclusive and more sustainable. The future will not be built by those who are content with the way things are. It will be built by those who are willing to take risks, to think outside the box, and to fight for what they believe in. As you move forward, remember that the path to change is rarely a straight line. It's full of twists and turns, challenges and setbacks. But every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward a better future. The road ahead may not always be easy, but it's important to stay focused on your goals. Don't let the obstacles in your way deter you. Instead, use them as opportunities to learn, grow, and become even more determined to make a difference. The future is waiting for you to step up and lead. Don't wait for someone else to make the change you want to see. Be the one who takes the first step. Every day, we make choices. Some of those choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but they add up. They create the trajectory of our lives and, ultimately, the trajectory of the world. The choices you make today will shape the person you become tomorrow. They will determine how you contribute to society and how you engage with others. And while you can't always predict the future, you can shape it through the choices you make in the present. As you move forward, be mindful of the choices you make. Choose to be kind. Choose to be compassionate. Choose to take action, even when it's difficult. The world needs people who are willing to stand up for what's right, no matter the cost. As you think about the future, it's important to remember that change doesn't happen in isolation. It happens when people come together, when communities unite, and when we all work toward a common goal. In the face of the challenges we face today, we must remember that we are stronger when we stand together. Whether it's fighting for social justice, advocating for climate action, or working to eliminate inequality, the power of collective action cannot be underestimated. It's not about individual success, it's about the success of the entire community. When we lift each other up, we create a future that benefits everyone. When we look at the world today, it's easy to focus on the divisions. We see the political divides, the social unrest, the economic inequality. It's easy to get bogged down by the problems. But if we want to create a better future, we must focus on what unites us. We all share a common humanity. We all have dreams, hopes, and desires. We all want to live in a world that is peaceful, and full of opportunity. It's easy to focus on our differences, but it's our shared humanity that binds us together. If we can learn to see the world through this lens, we can begin to bridge the divides that separate us and work together to build a brighter future. The power to make a difference is within each of us. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Everyone has the potential to change the world, but it's up to you to tap into that potential and use it for good. The road to change is not easy, but it's worth it. The future may seem uncertain, but by taking small actions every day, you can help shape a better world for those who come after you. Remember, change doesn't happen overnight, but with perseverance, dedication, and a commitment to building a better world, you can make a difference. So, as you move forward into the world, remember that you are not alone. You are part of a larger community, a global community that is working toward a common goal, creating a better future for all. And every step you take, no matter how small, contributes to that future. Whether it's through your work, your relationships, or your community involvement, you have the power to make a positive impact. The choices you make today will shape the world tomorrow. The question is, what kind of world do you want to help create? The time to act is now. The world needs you. Your ideas, your passion, your creativity, and your commitment to making a difference. You are the change makers, the leaders, the ones who will shape the future. So, take a stand. Choose to set the world on fire, not with destruction, but with hope, kindness, and action. Be the spark that ignites a movement, and never underestimate the power of small acts of kindness. If you believe in creating a positive future, like this video and join us in the movement for a better world. Together, we can light the world on fire in the right way.